Colorado High School Activities Association softball is on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network this afternoon from Eaton High School. It's the number one ranked team in Class 3A, the Eaton Reds, entertaining the Brush Bee Diggers. I'm John Beltran. 2 pitches in, swung on and fouled off to the right. That's Braylon Rule hitting. Now Brooke Rule, the leadoff hitter, took a first pitch for a strike and then hit a fly ball down the right field line that landed just inside the line, and she was able to generate a double. And the pitch, and that's down and in. And now nearly caught between second and third. A big lead there for Brooke Rule, but she's back at second. Bee Digger starting lineup brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to your next project, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. And the pitch, and that is on the inside corner for a strike. 1-2. Batting third is the catcher, Grace Georgiou. She's on deck. The cleanup hitter's the third baseman, Natalie Poss. Riley Lake, the second baseman, it's fifth. And fisted foul up the first base side. Carly Tatalini in center, bats sixth. The left fielder, Alexis Corral, hits seventh. The designated player, Annalise Glosson, hits eighth. And Kylie Abreu, the first baseman, batting ninth. And the pitch, swing and a foul to the screen on the 1-2. Sadie Ross is 5-0 with a 1.17 ERA. She's walked only 4 this year. Talk about a very effective pitcher. I'm John Beltran with Evan James. And she defeated Brush 18-2. Well, Eaton did back on August 22nd, and that is just outside, and a steal of third without a throw for Brooke Rule. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bee Diggers looking for a confidence builder. They're 4-4 going into the game, and Eaton is 7-1. The Bee Diggers are ranked 9th in Class 3A. And the 2-2. Upstairs, Sadie Ross brings a lot of heat. Jamie Woody at first. Alex Schmidt is at second. Jennifer Jarnigan's the third baseman. Blake Duncan at short. Olivia Comer in left field for Eaton. Emma Pinkstaff in center. Brooke Beacom in right. And that is a called strike 3 on the inner half at the knees. And striking out is Braylon Rule. And here is Georgiou, who's been tearing it up all year for the Bee Diggers. Georgiou batting .632 with 3 home runs. The pitch is a strike on the inner half bell tie. No balls and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers are a decided underdog in this game, but they can play with this team. The pitch swung on and fisted foul. And that's because of the outstanding freshman pitcher in Sadie Ross. He's got a lot of velocity in the early going. But that's been the case all year. Their only loss was to Lions, 7-0. No balls and 2 strikes. Georgiou up in the box, the pitch. And the changeup is, did she take it for a called strike 3? Throw to first as the ball gets loose, out. Throw to the plate, safe. Brooke Rule is in there, but it is a strikeout of Georgiou. No RBI. And the Bee Diggers lead 1-0. And that was essentially a pass ball that scored her. Well, what a changeup thrown there by Sadie Ross, her second strikeout of the inning. Here's the third baseman, Natalie Poss. Poss hitting .250. And the pitch upstairs with a heat. 1 ball and no strikes. But when you're facing a hitter like Georgiou and you're ahead 0-2, and to throw that off speed, that changeup, it was just a ridiculously good pitch. The pitch fisted to the screen. On the foul ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 Bee Diggers. Brooke Rule with a leadoff double. Stole third and scored on the strikeout. But Yaritza Puente, the catcher, had to throw to first to retire Georgiou. And then Rule took off for home and was ahead of the throw. And the offering. And that's down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike to Natalie Poss. Follow us pitch by pitch on iScore Central, the iScore Central app. Swung on and fisted foul at the plate. Man, she's coming inside on a lot of these hitters. Really all 4. Crystal clear ice, good for any drink any time of year. AC Ice, you can pick it up at any local grocery or convenience store in Northeast Colorado today. Have plenty of that. The pitch swung on and fisted to the screen. Again, just trying to jam the right-handed hitter. The Beat Diggers have all righties in the lineup with the exception of Annalise Glosson, who bats for the left side. And I think Eaton, if I remember correctly, also has 8 righties and 1 lefty.
If I remember right, that's very correct.
Yeah, and I think it's early in the lineup they've got that lefty. And the pitch, and that is a called strike 3, belt high on the inner half. And the Beat Diggers are retired in the first inning. Sadie Ross strikes out the side, but they pick up a double from Brooke Rule, and she comes around to score. The Beat Diggers do not strand a base runner. Let's head to the bottom of the first inning. The Beat Diggers have a run on the board. The Eaton Reds are coming to bat as you're listening to Brush Beat Diggers Softball on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Beat Diggers score a run in the first inning as Brooke Rule led off with a double and came around to score on a strikeout of George Yu, and the ball was dropped by the catcher, and they had to throw to first to complete the strikeout. Batting first for Eaton is the shortstop Blake Duncan. Jamie Woody, the first baseman, hits second. Batting third, the pitcher Sadie Ross. Third baseman Jennifer Jarnigan is the cleanup hitter. Yaritza Puente behind the plate hits fifth. And the pitch from Braylon Rule. A changeup is in there for a strike at the knees. Gorgeous looking pitch. Emma Pinkstaff in center hits sixth. Brooke Beacom, the right fielder, hits seventh. The left fielder Olivia Comer hits eighth. And the second baseman Alex Schmidt hits ninth. And that pitch is upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Beat Diggers have Kylie Abreu at first base. Riley Lake at second. At third is Natalie Pawson. Between them at short is Brooke Rule. From left to right, Alexis Corral, Carly Tatalini, and Olivia Odell. The offering swung on and grounded to short. Brooke Rule's got it. Throw to first is right there. A strike to Kylie Abreu, and there's one down. Behind the plate, of course, is George Yu and Braylon Rule. Just trying to work on her game. She actually threw well the first time against Eaton. 108 pitches, 69 strikes, 39 balls, but there were 5 errors behind her. In the 18-2 loss, it was one of her better pitch games, even though the Beat Diggers got routed. The pitch to the left-handed hitter's a strike. No balls and 1 strike. This is Jamie Woody. Woody in the first meeting against Brush was 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. And the offering. Swung on and lifted a shallow right field. Going back now, misjudging it, was Olivia Odell. It's over her head. This is going to turn into a triple as the throw comes back into the second baseman, Lake. She came in, and that's why I thought it was a shallow fly. And instead, the wind carried that softball. And when you look at it, that should have been an out, but it was misjudged in right field. Now it's a 1-out triple. And the tying run is at third base in the bottom of the first inning. I mean, if you can't make those plays, it's going to be a tough afternoon for Brush. Here's Sadie Ross. The pitch down and away, and Eaton is hitting .450 as a team. The Beat Diggers are batting .341. Sadie Ross, the first game, 1 out of 3 with a run batted in. And that's taken for a strike. Belt high, 1 ball and 1 strike. So an extra base hit for Brush to begin the game, an extra base hit for Eaton here with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. And the offering, down and in on a hop. Stabbed out of the ground there by George Yu. Ball 2, strike 1. The Nuggets and Clippers will follow with pregame at 6:30. That'll be only on 1010 KSIR. Game 7 of the Western Conference semis. Swung on and lifted into left field. To her left is Alexis Corral. Ranges in, makes the grab, breaking for the plate. Long throw. That's going to be a close play and saved. Not even sliding there was Woody. But that was a lot closer than I thought. It was going to be a great throw there by Alexis Corral. But the sac fly by Sadie Ross has tied the game at 1 in the first inning. And here is Jennifer Jarnigan. Well, so far so good from Braylon Rule, but we've seen this before. She's got to get through the middle innings. The pitch. Beautiful pitch on the inner half at the knees. It's 0-1. She's got major game, but you hit the nail on the head, Evan. Against Lions, you got to be confident. And the 0-1. Swung on and grounded foul up the third base side. No balls and 2 strikes. Both teams with a run, both teams with an extra base hit. And quite frankly, the Beat Diggers got a little fortunate as well because the ball hit by Rule on the double was really just a fly ball that was in the air for a while, but perfectly placed inside the right field line. And the offering. Swung on, driven foul by about 50 feet. down the left field side. The count remains at 0-2. Here to the right-handed hitting third baseman Jennifer Jarnigan. And the offering, and that bounces in. Those are the ones that she wants to avoid. You bounce them, there's not even a thought of a swing. And the 1-2 pitch, swung on, grounded foul, third base side. And again, trying to jam these hitters is Braylon Rule. All right, Evan, come within 2 degrees temperature.
I'm going to go with 88.
You're within 2. It's 90 degrees here in Eaton. The pitch, swung on, base hit up the middle. A sharply hit ball by Jennifer Jarnigan, second hit of the inning. It extends the inning for the fifth-place hitter, the catcher, Yaritza Puente. She went 2 for 4 in the first meeting last month with 3 RBIs. So she drove in the same number of runs as Jamie Woody, the second hitter in the lineup. Another right-handed hitter here for Eaton. And she's got power. 205 down the lines. The pitch swung on and driven deep into left center field. Corrales way back, and it's a home run just underneath the scoreboard here at Eaton High School in left center field. A 2-run blast by Yaritza Puente. And Eaton now leads Brush in the bottom of the first inning, 3-1.
You know, like you said, John, she had a lot of power.
Well, and the pitch was just right down the middle, belt high, and it was in her wheelhouse. And it was too easy for Puente. She took an easy swing.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Real easy swing. It didn't require much, especially with the velocity that Braylon Rule had behind that pitch. Emma Pinkstaff will now hit. 1 for 3 with an RBI against Brush the first time, and that's upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. The goal for the Bead Diggers is just to play well in 7 innings. They've had some abbreviated games this season. Against Lions, against Strasburg. The pitch, way outside. They did go the distance with the University in a 13-7 loss, and of course the Eaton game also was an abbreviated game. So Bead Diggers have lost by mercy rule 3 times, and that is just off the plate. 3 balls and no strikes to the number 6 hitter, Emma Pinkstaff, with Brooke Beacom on deck. The offering way outside. It's a 4-pitch walk. And even the first time when she pitched against Eaton, Braylon only walked 1. She did hit 3 batters. But, you know, if that turns into 4 free passes, it's a lot better than many of other performances.
I should 100% agree with you, John. 100%.
Here we go with Beacom. The pitch. Tails inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the danger zone. She pounds that ball into the glove, and that sometimes it just helps her mentally. The offering, but not there. Runner was bluffing as the ball went off George Yu. 2 balls and no strikes. That was down and away on a hop. That's 6 straight.
Doesn't look like she really wants to pitch right on that plate.
She's going to have to come down the middle right now, down at 2-0. The offering, that's down the middle and fouled behind us and onto the street. That ball had some tail action to it, tailing towards the inner half of the strike zone. Ball 2, strike 1, 2 outs, 3-1 Eaton, bottom 1, a runner at first. And the 2-1. And throw back to first. It's outside. The ball is off the glove of Abreu, and to second's going to be Pinkstaff. That'll be an error on the first baseman. That was a good throw there, and Abreu just didn't catch it. First error of the game. Again, the Bead Diggers had 5 errors in the loss in August. Now a runner in scoring position. 3-1. Foul to the backstop. Excellent pitch on the outside corner. 3-2. And again, this is pretty much what Braylon has done all year in terms of ball-to-strike ratio. She's got 14 strikes, 11 balls. Sometimes it's in the other direction, more balls than strikes. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A beautiful pitch on the outer half by Braylon Rule to strike out Brooke Beacom. And Eaton is retired in the bottom of the first inning. However, they get a 2-run homer from Yaritza Puente. 3 runs on 3 hits. There was a beat digger error and 1 base runner left. Let's head to the second inning in Eaton to score. The number 1 ranked Reds lead the 9th ranked beat diggers 3-1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 5, 6, and 7 for the beat diggers in the top of the second. Riley Lake hitting .278, swings and misses at a pitch down the middle from Sadie Ross. 3-1 Eaton on the 2-run homer from Yaritza Puente to the pitch outside. And Braylon brings it up there, but Sadie Ross
definitely brings it up there.
It's a different dimension. She's got major heat. And the 1-1 down and in. She struck out the side in the first inning.
You know, it goes from fast to scary fast. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt, you got to be prepared. You got to be ready to swing if you're Brush. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch right there on the inside corner at the knees. It's 2-2. Let me see how many strikeouts she had the first time around. She's on pace to put together a double-digit strikeout game. And the pitch swung on and foul to the backstop. 6 strikeouts in the first meeting against the Beat Diggers. She's got, again, 3 right now. And the count stays at 2-2 to Riley Lake, the leadoff hitter, in the top of the second inning. The pitch, changeup is upstairs. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car. Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient. Makes them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. Stubbs Gas and Oil. 3-2, swing and a miss. It jammed her on a fastball in the inside corner. That thing was tailing in. 4 strikeouts for Sadie Ross. 1 down in the second for Carly Tatalini, who's going to get her first at-bat of the season.
And we have another lefty here, John.
Yep. Now we'll see a lefty coming up after Corral. And Annalise Glosson. That pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Carly Tatalini. The Beat Diggers had the first hitter on in the game, but nothing since then. Swing and a miss. Pitch was on the inner half. I mean, Ross doesn't throw anything down the middle.
No.
Everything is painting corners. 1 ball, 1 strike. The offering. Swung on and lifted it towards the left side, and the ball's going to drop in for a hit. It looked like the third baseman, Jarnigan, went over it. I think it went off her glove, but that ball was descending quickly on that little flare. And it's 1 out and 1 on. That'll bring up Alexis Corral. Yeah, that thing didn't have much. If that had more elevation, it would have been easily caught.
Would have been a routine play.
Yeah, but it was in no man's land, too, between second and third. Grounded foul. Corral up the first base side, trying to go the other way. No balls and 1 strike. Alexis Corral, a senior, hitting .286 on the season. And she's a significant threat down in that 7-hole. This is a deep lineup with Kylie Abreu having a good season in the 9-hole. The offering, squaring to bunt, and she missed it completely. No balls and 2 strikes. And that was a very good buntable pitch down in the zone and down the middle. Now she's going to have to swing away. No balls and 2 strikes. 3-1, Eaton in the lead in the top of the second. The offering, that is a called strike 3 on the inside corner at the knees. Strikeout number 5 for Sadie Ross. There's 2 down.
That'll bring up number 23, Annalise Glosson.
Here's Glosson, the second left-handed hitter in the lineup, batting .200. And the offering, swing and a miss, got blown away by that heater on the outside corner. Yeah, you got to start much earlier, and Annalise knows that. She's nodding right now, knowing that she's got to be prepared and shorten up that swing. No balls and 1 strike. Tatalini off of first. The pitch. Outside corner, strike 2, runner goes to second, no throw, head first slide, and a steal for Tatalini. But now Annalise Glosson in an 0-2 hole. And Sadie Ross attempting to strike out the side for the second time in as many innings. The pitch, swung on and fouled. Nice short swing, protecting the outside corner was Glosson. And the count remains at 0-2. I mean, that's the adjustment you have to make. Nice job there, but The way Ross pitches, I bet she's going to go inside here. She's gone away 3 pitches in a row. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Nope, that's down and away. Ball 1, strike 2. The Bee Diggers have a runner in scoring position, trying to reduce this 2-run deficit. And the offering swung on and fouled. Again, went on the outside corner, and very Todd Helton-ish, just sticking out the bat. And just getting a piece of it and fouling it up the third base side. But again, I think this could be a setup to go inside. But she's got that open stance. The pitch. Swing and a miss. What a changeup. Oh, a change of pace. Glosson way out in front. And nothing she could do there. That's just a great pitch from a phenomenal right-hander. The Bee Diggers, no runs on 1 hit, no errors. And a base runner left at second. 1 1/2 innings have been played in Eaton. It's Eaton 3, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The first pitch of the bottom of the second from Braylon Rule is just, well, it's on the outside corner. Got a piece of that one. Just on that corner. No balls and 1 strike to Olivia Comer. 8-9-1 for Eaton. In the bottom of the second inning, they hold a 3-1 advantage in Eaton. And the pitch swung on line. Caught by the first baseman, Abreu. Just off to her right. Made a nice stab at that softball. There's 1 out. And that's what the Bee Diggers need. Well, you remember, and it might have been against Eaton, when they hit that line drive to Abreu, and her glove was there, and then she dropped the glove for some reason, misjudging the spin. And, you know, that was just one of many plays that the Bee Diggers had trouble with defensively. It led to a huge inning. But that time, she read that perfectly. 1 ball and no strikes. Alex Schmidt, now the hitter. 0 for 2 in the first matchup against Brush. Way outside.
You know, John, Kylie Abreu doing a great job this time, coming back from that error earlier in the game where she dropped that.
Right, yeah, well, and especially the first hitter of the inning. You got to retire that first hitter. 2-0 pitch. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner. Belt high. Ball 2, strike 1. She didn't give in there. She went to the corner. She's not going to throw it down the middle, even though she was down on the count 2-0. Now the 2-1. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Georgiou, a tremendous athlete, gave chase to a ball she had no chance of catching because the ball hit off the side of the fence. But still, I mean, she gets out of the catcher's crouch very quickly. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom 2. The Reds lead the Bee Diggers 3-1. And the pitch from Braylon. Swung on and fouled. That was well off the plate, but protecting there was Alex Schmidt with Blake Duncan waiting to hit next. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. It's still early in the game, and at some point we have to do our mandatory. That's not mandatory. We haven't done it every game. Food talk.
Oh, of
We're gonna have
course.
later. Yeah.
Who doesn't love food?
Well, let me tell you what today is. The pitch. And that hitter on the helmet. 19th hit batsman of the season by Braylon Rule. And Alex Schmidt at first for Blake Duncan, who grounded to short. Today is National Cheese Toast Day. That's pretty simple. You just toast bread and throw some cheese on it. National Linguine Day. Different than spaghetti and fettuccine, but still one of the fine pastas. And as we talked about on the way up, National Double Cheeseburger Day. Oh, man.
Oh,
I could go for all, by the way, I eat mismatched foods all the time. I mean, I could have a hamburger or a cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger, and linguine in the same meal. The pitch, that is a strike at the knees, down the middle to Blake Duncan, who grounded to Brooke Rule to begin the bottom of the first inning. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. 3-1 Eaton, bottom 2. And Braylon Rule comes home. Up in the zone. Took something off it. Counted 1-1. Braylon has a strikeout. Sadie Ross has 6 strikeouts, matching what she did against Brush in the first meeting. The pitch, squaring to bunt, lays it down the third base side, and Madeline Post does a nice job of letting it roll foul because she had no play there. Had that stayed fair, would have been a base hit because that was a nice drag bunt thrown down there by Duncan, but again, it trickled foul. 1-2. Little breeze is kicking up as well in Eaton. And the pitch to Duncan. Swung on, line foul up the third base side.
And, John, it's kind of feeling like the Valley game a little bit, you know what I mean? Where it's nice and breezy, but still kind of warm.
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice conditions. Hopefully it won't turn in like the Valley game in terms of 26 combined runs. The pitch swung on and lifted foul and had a play off to the right onto the street here, which I'm not even sure what street that is. I should know that. I've only been coming here for 22 years. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Yaritza Puente was the difference maker, a 2-run homer in the first inning for a 3-1 Eaton lead. Swung on and lifted to left field. Corral goes back. She's going to reach up and make the catch. And back to first for Eaton is Alex Schmidt, 2 down.
First baseman, number 7, Jamie Woody.
Jamie Woody hit a fly ball to right that Odell misjudged, and it turned into a triple, and she later scored in the first. Hitting from the left side, the pitch in the dirt, and no advance. Nice stop there by Double G. 1-0. The Bee Diggers hanging tough here in Eaton in the early going. Get that third out and make some adjustments offensively. Second time around the order. In the dirt again, blocked by Grace. It's 2-0. And Braylon Rules strike to ball ratio. Not too bad. 26 strikes, 17 balls. But get that third out. The third out has been an issue for the Bee Diggers during certain moments of the season. And that pitch is way outside. Throw back to first, back in diving is Schmidt. 3 balls and no strikes. And you've got the heart of the order coming up here in Ross. And then, of course, Jarnigan and Puente. 3 balls and no strikes. And the pitch up and away. It's another 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the game issued by Braylon Rule. And here is Ross, who drove in Woody with a sac fly 1 inning ago. Righty against righty, the pitch. A little bit below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. Premier Farm Credit understands production ag, and they've been serving the rural communities for over 100 years in Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke. 1-0. Tails inside for a strike on the corner. That's a gorgeous pitch. That pitch is very tough to hit well. And if she could just almost duplicate that a couple more times. 1-1. Just outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Trying to work the corners. It's Braylon Rule. Runners at first and second with 2 down in the second. The pitch. Nearly hit her. 3-1. Yeah, when Braylon gets a handle on where the pitch is going, because there's no doubt that there's certain pitches she throws and she releases, and she's not sure where the pitch is going. 3-1. And a little bit low. Nice changeup, but just a little bit below the knees. And the bases are loaded with 2 down on 2 walks and a hit batter. Well, this is a critical hitter. That's 3 walks and a hit batter in the game. We'll have a courtesy runner at first.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher at first base, number 14, Julia Meager.
And that is Julia Meager. Well, you got to come in with 1 now. You don't have to throw it down the middle. But 3-1 versus 5 to 6-1 against the number 1 ranked team on the road is a huge difference now. Jarnigan singled her first time up. Pitch. Down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. And again, Evan, it's that third out. You got to get the third out.
And like you said, John, Berlin's been struggling with this.
1-0. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. Went in on the right-handed hitter. Again, the fear behind that is that she goes too far inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm paying special attention. It seems that she's setting up in the middle of the rubber. She might want to make adjustments if she's pitching inside. 1-1. That one is, just missed. Maybe a little bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looked like it got the corner, but a little bit above the strike zone. 2-1. Swung on, popped up. This is playable. Third baseman Poss ranges in and makes the grab along the line, and that was only hit about 15 feet forward, and that's a big out as the Beat Diggers and Braylon Rule get out of a significant jam. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the bases were left loaded. We have played 2 innings in Eaton. The score, Eaton 3, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, as well as the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Bay Diggers will send up Kylie Abreu, Brooke Rule, and Braylon Rule. In the third, Eaton leads 3-1. 3 runs on 3 hits for the Reds. 1 run on 2 hits for the Bay Diggers. They've committed the game's only error, and that pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. Let's check out Abreu's numbers. The offering, swing and a miss. That pitch was tailing away. Abreu hitting .375 with a home run. But she was nowhere near that one. 0-2, got to protect the outside portion. Swung on and grounded to short. Duncan has got it on the third hop. Throws to first for the out. She had trouble getting the ball out of her glove, but in time to retire Abreu by a step and a half. And that's the first out that the Bee Diggers have made that was not a strikeout. Here's Brooke Rule, who had a pop fly double to lead off the game and then later scored on the strikeout of Georgiou when the catcher Puente had to throw to first to complete the strikeout. The pitch, inside corner, strike, thigh high. It's 0-1.
You know, John, the Bee Diggers doing a lot better job this time in batting.
Well, let's see what happens the second time around. The pitch, down and in. I mean, they did, they got to do better, though, much better. You strike out 6 times. They definitely have to do better second time around. They got a couple of hits, but that's not going to be enough to pitch. Swung on, lined, and a one-hopper to the second baseman, and the throw to first for the out. It was a very short hop that Schmidt was able to grab and retire Brooke Rule. And there's 2 outs in the third inning. That ball was hit very sharply the other way. I mean, Brooke Rule by far has had the best at-bats. By far. It's not even really close. The pitch. Change up, a strike on the outside corner to Braylon Rule, who struck out looking her first time up. But in this inning, they've done better because they made contact for the 2 outs as opposed to the 6 outs that were strikeouts in the first 2 innings. And that pitch was painted on the outside corner. It's 0-2. And you cannot throw better pitches than that. Braylon has really got to protect the outside here. 0-2 pitch, way outside. Ball 1, strike 2. The Reds lead by 2 in the third inning. Sadie Ross, the right-hander, delivers. Fouled to the screen. That pitch jammed her. It remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eaton is 7-1 and ranked number 1. The Bee Diggers ranked 9th, or 4-4. It'll be another 1-2 to Braylon. Changeup is in the dirt. Ball 2, strike 2. That was pitch number 49, 36 strikes and 13 balls. Here comes pitch number 50. Swung on, fisted foul off to the right. Yeah, those pitches are almost impossible to put into play. You're going to foul that off either with a really early swing down the third base side or a late swing up the first base side. 2-2 with 2 down, and the base is empty. Pitch to Rule. Strike 3, down the middle at the knees. Sadie Ross records her 7th strikeout of the game. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the third after this 1-minute break. It's Eaton 3, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Yaritza Puente drilled a 2-run homer in the first inning. That gave Eaton a 3-1 lead. She'll lead off the bottom of the third against Braylon Rule. The Bee Diggers will play 2 home games coming up Thursday against Valley at 4 o'clock. And then first responders will be honored on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock against University. Swing and a miss on a changeup down and away. One of the best pitches that Braylon Rule has thrown in this game. It's 0-1. So, yeah, if you're a first responder and can get out there for even a portion of that game on Saturday against University at 11 o'clock, swung on and driven into right center field. It drops in for a base hit. As all those first responders have done a tremendous job, will be honored and recognized. So it's a leadoff single in the bottom of the third for Yaritza Puente. And for Eaton, that's their 4th hit of the game. Here's Emma Pinkstaff, who walked. Christina Sorrell is the courtesy runner at first. All of the runs in this game were scored 2 innings ago. And this is why the Bee Diggers have got to stay sharp to stay in this game, knowing that Sadie Ross is on her game with 7 strikeouts in 3 innings. The pitch on the outer half at the knees, strike 1. Yeah, she seems calm now. Braylon is calm. Sometimes when she pounds that ball into the glove, I don't know if she's necessarily calm. The pitch, swung on and lifted to right field. Odell comes in. Odell makes the catch. Runners way off of first. Throw back to first and back in safely there. Had the throw been on the bag, it would have been a double play. That was not good base running there by Sorrell. She was nearly at second base, and Odell nearly threw her out and doubled up the runner. Instead, there's just 1 down. The throw was a little bit offline. I'm not sure what Sorrell was doing there, but not a good base running play. She got away with it. Brooke Beacom struck out swinging. 1 of 2 strikeouts recorded by Braylon Rule. The pitch down the middle at the knees for a strike. Braylon's in control so far in this third. And the Bee Diggers are right in this game against the number 1 team from Eaton. The pitch swung on and fouled off the end of the bat. Looked like another changeup. It's 0-2.
Georgiou sure got up quick. I think she expected that to be.
Well, no.
closer.
I mean, yeah, it probably did. But I think she's going to do that instinctively either way. Yeah, she always gets out of that crouch very quickly. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and foul. That ball was up in the zone. Great pitch there by the right-hander Rule. Just got underneath it. It stays at 0-2. 1 out, 1 on, bottom 3. And Braylon delivers way outside in a steal without a throw, and the ball's off of Georgiou's glove anyway, so there would not have been a play.
Sorrell down to second base on the play.
1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck is Olivia Comer. Big pitch here coming up from Braylon Rule. Here it is. Swung on and lifted to left field. Corral goes back. She's got room. She makes the 2-handed grab. And back to second is Sorrell. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. And Braylon Rule is making contact with those bats, and the Bee Diggers are playing that defense behind her. But again, get that third out. Here's Olivia Comer, who popped to right her first time up. The pitch upstairs. We'll check that. Let me see if I've got that. She did hit it to the right side. Now it was popped to first, I should say. And the offering, way outside, 2-0. So far, the numbers for Braylon over 2 2/3, 37 strikes, 28 balls. She struck out 1, I said 2, but she struck out 1, giving up 4 hits, 3 walks, and a hit batter. 2-0, beautiful pitch. Outer half at the knees. 2-1 to Comer. And if you get her, she's the 8th hitter in the lineup. You can work it around to 9-1-2 once you get to the 4th inning. And the right-hander delivers. Oh, just missed. A little bit off the plate. Went for that outside corner again. It's 3-1. And all it needs is a little piece of that softball, but apparently it just missed the pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Wow, way out in front was Comer. 3-2. Boy, that's too bad she didn't throw that on a 3-2, because that's an out pitch as well. And normally you don't throw 2 changeups in a row. But let's see what Braylon decides to do. The offering. Inside, it barely missed. It's a walk to the 8th place hitter, Comer.
Comer draws the base on balls for the Reds.
That'll send up Alex Schmidt, who was hit by a pitch.
Second baseman number 2, Ali Schmidt.
And that pitch was close, but it was just a little bit inside. Coach Holden repositioning Odell in right field. She was playing way back against this hitter, the number 9 hitter. The offering, way outside. Looks like that ball got stuck in the palm of her hand. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Not only based on confidence, but on release, on the release point. 1-0. Swung on, grounded foul up the third base side. Yeah, if you saw the release point there versus the previous pitch, completely different. Completely different. That one flowed right off the fingers, beautifully off the fingers. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down, 2 on, bottom of the third. Eaton leads Brush 3-1. The pitch. Swung on and lifted to right center field. Tattolini way back and towards the fence, and she dives, and it's over her glove. There's a collision between the trail runner and Brooke Rule, and it'll be runners at second and third. A run scores. It's now 4-1. Wow, that was rather odd out there. It'll be a double there for Alex Schmidt. But Comer fell, and so did Rule. They collided between second and third. If not, I think she scores. So the B-Diggers get a little bit of a break there. Here is Blake Duncan. That ball was driven out there a lot further than I thought by Alex Schmidt. Duncan 0 for 2, grounded out and lined out. And she takes one down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. But again, that 2-out walk to the 8th hitter, that's what kills you. You know, she gave up a hit there for the run, but it's the walk that sets it up. And the 1-0. Upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. The Reds now have 5 hits in the game. Keep this at 4-1, and you got a shot. 2-0. Inside corner at the knees. That's a strike. To Blake Duncan. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's the location she wanted to the previous hitter. The pitch. Swung on line. That's a base hit into left field. 1 run is going to score, and they're going to hold the trail runner there. Crossing home plate for Eaton is Olivia Comer on the RBI single for Blake Duncan. Eaton leads Brush 5-1. And that ball was scorched out there, which is why only 1 run could score. Jamie Woody has tripled and walked and scored. From the left side, these 2 runs have come with 2 outs. Braylon Rule looks in. Georgiou sets the target and the offering. Swung on and fouled off to the left, well out of play. No balls and 1 strike. I mean, this team can hit. There's no question about it. That's why they're ranked number 1. And they're on their home field. Very familiar here. The pitch. Swung on and fisted foul off to the left again, trying to go the other way. No balls and 2 strikes. See, this is where you might try that changeup. Change of pace. Let's see what Coach Odell decides to do here. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on and lifted to center field. Tattolini's there into right center and makes the grab. And Eaton is retired in the bottom of the 3rd inning. However, the Reds tack on to the lead as they pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. No B-Digger errors and 2 base runners left. We have played 3 innings in Eaton. With a score in this Class 3A Patriot League softball game, Eaton 3, Eaton 5, and the Bee Diggers 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Evan James. Let's head to the fourth inning. Number 1 ranked Eaton leads Brush 5-1. Grace Georgiou struck out her first time, and the pitch is up and away. 3, 4, and 5 for Brush in the fourth. The Bee Diggers' lone run came in when Brooke Rule scored in a strikeout of Georgiou. Then the catcher Puente had to throw to first to complete the strikeout, and that pitch is inside. 2-0. Georgiou has only struck out twice this year, so expect her to swing away big time. 2-0 pitch, and she takes it for a strike at the knees. Right down the middle, it's 2-1. Georgiou followed by Poss, and then Lake. The pitch, down and in, and a strike. Ooh, wow. Now that pitch, that looked a little bit below the knees, but it's 2-2. The offering, swing and a miss, or did she foul it? Yep, she got a piece of it. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bee Diggers have 2 hits in the game, a double from Brooke Rule to begin the game, and then the little flare hit by Carly Tatalini. And that all came in the first 2 innings. Rules of the first, Tatalini's in the second. Ross has 7 strikeouts in the game. She struck out the side in the first and second innings. And the count on the board, let me see, is that right? Yeah, it is 2-2, okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the fourth inning. The pitch, way outside. 3-2, get that leadoff runner on, that leadoff batter. It paid off in the first inning. They want it to pay off here in the fourth. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, swung on, fisted foul, off to the right. Nadel Poss had to duck out of the way. And the 3-2. Swung on, fisted foul again. Morgan Community College is there to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. This will be pitch number 60 for Sadie Ross in the game. 3-2 again here to Georgiou, the offering. Changeup, base hit into right center field, and a strong swing. She kept that back foot and the hands back and drilled it right up the middle. And the Bee Diggers have the leadoff batter on base. And the courtesy runner will be Carrera.
Courtesy runner for the catcher at first base, number 1, Aaliyah Carrera.
And here's Nadel Poss, who struck out looking her first time up. And this is where Brush has got to adjust the second time around, because they had 6 strikeouts the first time around, and Brooke Rule hit a shot that was one-hopped into the glove of the second baseman before Braylon Rule struck out, and now the base hit from Georgiou. The pitch swung on, tapped foul up the first base side. No balls and 1 strike. Again, first responders will be acknowledged, recognized, and honored on Saturday at Jocelyn Field and Brush. Get out there for the University Brush game, a rematch of the state title game. Scoring to bunt up the first base side, gorgeous bunt, nobody covering, and Nadel Poss is going to be in there without a throw. A mistake defensively there by Eaton. The first baseman came in, the second baseman was covering second, when clearly on a bunt there's not going to be a play at second. So the Bee Diggers pick up their 3rd hit. And it's a gorgeous bunt single up the first base line by Nadel Poss. Here's Riley Lake. She struck out swinging her first time up. The offering, swung on, grounded right back to the mound. To third for 1, and back to first, and that's late. That fielder's choice goes 1-5. And there's 1 down in the top of the 4th inning. So first and second now with 1 out for Carly Tatalini, who hit that little flare that went off the glove of the third baseman Jarnigan, scored a hit. The pitch outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Sadie Ross looking to go to 6-0. Eaton overall is 7-1. 5-1 Reds in the top of the 4th inning. The offering, swing and a miss. Pitch was up in the zone and got behind it. It's 1-1. Yeah, this is softball, so short swings suffice. It's a short field, short swings can get it done. And the 1-1. Outside corner, strike 2. Knee level. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tatalini. On deck is Alexis Corral. Runners off of first and second. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Took something off it. Strikeout number 8 for Sadie Ross as Tatalini goes down swinging. And here's Corral. She struck out looking her first time up. Well, we had first and second, nobody out. Now first and second, 2 outs. The offering. Inside corner for a strike. Man, she paints that thing beautifully. Again, even if you're early, you're going to foul that pitch off. And the 0-1. Low. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike with Glosson on deck. Gorgeous day. We'll play the temperature game once again with Evan coming up momentarily. The pitch. Little bit inside and high. 2 balls and 1 strike. All right. After this pitch. The offering. That is a strike. Inside corner again, 2-2. All right. Come within 2 degrees, the temperature.
86.
It's 88. So you're still within 2. It did drop. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on the offering. Swing and a miss. Blew that heater right by her, up and away. 9 strikeouts in the game for Sadie Ross. The Bee Diggers threaten, but do not score. No runs for Brush on 2 hits in the inning. I think I had him with 1, but 2 hits in the inning. No errors and 2 left. 3 1/2 innings have been played in Eaton. The score, Eaton 5, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Sadie Ross is now the hitter. She takes the first 2 pitches for balls, 2 balls and no strikes. On the bottom of the 4th inning, Eaton leads Brush 5-1, straight up at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. This is 1010 KSIR. Brush, Fort Morgan Marino. John Beltran with Evan James. It's 3 balls and no strikes and a pitch down and away. Braylon Rule delivers. Down the middle for a strike at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3, 4, and 5 for Eaton in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch. Just outside. It missed on a changeup. It's a walk. And for Braylon, that is the 5th walk she's issued in the game. She's also hit a batter. Again, that's just too many. But she's battled. She has battled. She stayed in this game. The pitch. Swung on, grounded, fair down the third base side. It got so quickly to Paul, she barely had a chance to react. Now to third, the throw, the slide, safe. Off the glove of Paul into second on the throw is going to be Jarnigan. That'll be scored a single. And that got to Paul so quickly, she tried to field it. And it went just to the right of her glove. And now Eaton is in business. Was 2nd and 3rd. Here's Puente, who is 2 for 2, a home run, a 2-run shot in the 1st and a single. The pitch, down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, it was playable by Poss, but you got to have really quick reflexes, really quick. Especially when a ball hit that hard. The pitch, way outside. Yeah, she's turning that wrist over a little bit. Got to keep that thing straight. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, she's starting to miss pitches that are not even close here. 2-0. And that ball clipped Puente. And now the bases are loaded. Got her on the left thigh. I think Braylon tried to overcompensate. Here's Emma Pinkstaff, who has walked and popped out. We'll have a courtesy runner. I believe that's Sorrell.
Courtesy runner for the catcher at first base, number 5, Christina Sorrell.
So that's 5 walks and 2 hit batters.
Number 17, Emma Pinkstaff.
And this has just been a battle for Braylon all season long. Again, she's staying in the game. But the inning did begin with a walk. The pitch. Off the glove of Georgiou. Striding to the plate is Jarnigan. No throw. She slides in. The other runners advance. On the wild pitch, Eaton leads 6-1 in the 4th inning. And Pinkstaff has 2 there in scoring position. And again, we said one of the goals at the beginning was to play 7. Eaton wants to change that now. And if they score enough runs, the Bee Diggers would be down to their final 3 outs. They've got a 5-run advantage. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul and off to the right, now to play. Count moves to 1-1. A walk, a single, a hit batter, and a wild pitch. The Bee Diggers have done the majority of the work there. Eaton's only had to put the ball in play once. The offering, way outside on a changeup. Count levels at 1-1. 1 run on 4 hits for the Bee Diggers. They've committed an error and left 3 on base. 6 runs on 7 hits for Eaton. No errors, and they've stranded 6. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fisted foul to the backstop. Nice diving attempt there by Georgiou. It's 2-2. You got to get this hitter at this point. I mean, especially since you're going to have the lower 3 coming up. 2-2, 2 in scoring position, 1 across here in the 4th. The offering bounces in, down and away. And the count moves to 3-2 on Emma Pinkstaff. Another big pitch coming up. Braylon has thrown big pitches when she's needed to, particularly in the 2nd inning when the bases were loaded. Here it is. Swing and a miss on a pitch up in the zone. That probably would have been ball 4. It was above the letters, but Pinkstaff swung, and Braylon picks up her 2nd strikeout. 1 down in the 4th. And now we'll have a pinch hitter. That'll be Julia Mager, heading from the right side.
Now hitting for the Reds, number 14,
well,
Julia Mager.
Let's see if we can get this 2nd out and keep it at 6-1. I mean, you knew when Eaton scored, or Brush scored that 1st run, it was going to be tough to knock in a 2nd and a 3rd because Sadie Ross has been so good this year. The pitch bounces in, blocked by Georgiou. Ricochets up the 3rd base side. It's 1-0. Olivia Comer waits to hit next. Eaton has scored in 3 of the first 4 innings. At 3rd is Jarnigan. Sorrell at 2nd. And the 1-0. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Brooke Rules, got it. Throws to first in time. A run scores. The RBI ground out goes to Julia Meager. It's now Eaton 7, Brush 1. Into 3rd is Sorrell. And here comes Comer.
Now hitting for the Reds, left fielder number 8, Olivia
Comer. Popped to the right side and walked. She's officially 0 for 1. I mean, Eaton has not had that huge inning, but it's a couple runs here, a couple runs there. The pitch swung on and lined on 1 hop to Rule. Throw to first in time. Another 6-3. And the Bee Diggers limit the damage here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
2 runs on a single hit. There's a runner left.
2 runs for the Reds on 1 hit.
Walks in the inning.
No errors, and one base runner left. Let's head to the top of the 5th inning in Eaton. The score, Eaton 7, and the Bee Diggers 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 8-9-1 for Brush in the top of the 5th inning. Eaton leads on their home field 7-1. Annalise Glosson, Kylie Abreu, and Brooke Rule. Now, Evan didn't speak much that last inning, but that was my fault. How you doing, Evan?
I'm doing good, John. Myself.
Okay. More specific? I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
That pitch is down and away. Just all right. I mean,
it's a great day.
Okay.
Get to watch some softball.
All right, there you go. Now, I wanted just a little bit more detail. One ball and no strikes. The pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. I mean, I played the temp game with you twice, and you're killing it today. You're doing great. 1-1 here to Glosson, hitting for the left side. Swung on and grounded to third. Oh, nice short hop stab there by the third baseman, Jarnigan, and she retires Glosson for the first out of the 5th inning. That was hit well, but tremendous defense by Jarnigan. And here's Kylie Abreu. She hit a sharp ground ball to short and was retired herself earlier in this game. That came in the 3rd inning. The pitch, and that ball is off the glove of the catcher Puente to the screen. So far, the numbers for Sadie Ross are as follows. 55 strikes, 21 balls. Great ratio there. 9 strikeouts, a strike down the middle. Has allowed 4 hits, walked none. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ross ready, and the pitch. And that is a check swing, but Abreu went. It's 1-2. It's on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Bee Digger first baseman with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. The pitch. Check swing, but I think she went again, or nope, she did not. Good job of Kylie holding up. Ball 2, strike 2. She's got that pitch tailing away. It looks like it's starting off on the outside corner, almost with a little bit of side spin to it. And the 2-2. And that bounces in. That's a rare miscue there by Ross. We haven't seen many pitches that have bounced in from her. She always keeps it near the strike zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Eaton is ranked 1st in 3A. University is 2nd. Lyons is at number 4. Brush at number 9. Sterling at number 10. It's a stacked league. 3-2. Swung on and fisted right back to the mound. Charging is Ross. Throwing to first high and late. It'll be a base hit. A good throw, and it's going to be a bang-bang play. But we'll call that a base hit. For Kylie Abreu, nice hustle there. And luckily for Abreu, she didn't hit the ball hard. If not, she would have been thrown out easy, but Ross had to charge. Here is Brooke Rule, who's doubled and grounded out. She's 1 for 2. She scored the only run for Brush.
Number 11, Brooke Rule.
Brush has led in every game this season except the first time against Eaton. The pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. That was thigh high. Here to Brooke Rule. 1 out, 1 on. The pitch. Swung on and grounded right side for a base hit. Abreu to second. Abreu round second. Abreu to third. The throw. She slides. She's in there. And Brooke Rule on the back end takes second. Rule now has 2 hits in the game. The Bee Diggers have 2 in scoring position for Braylon Rule in the 5th inning, down 7-1.
Great hit there.
Well, but I'm surprised that Eaton threw that all the way through. It didn't look like they were going to have much of a shot on Abreu there. But you know what? Brooke would have stolen second anyway.
Yeah, she got the speed.
Now Braylon has got to adjust here. She struck out twice looking. The pitch. Swung on and grounded to third. And now Abreu is tagged out by Jarnigan. Throw back to second and safe as Brooke Rule. Fielder's choice. 5 unassisted. Abreu was barely off the bag. And Jarnigan was able to tag her out as Abreu was lunging back towards the bag, and there's 2 outs. Oh, just some bad luck on a ball struck right to the third baseman, Jennifer Jarnigan.
Now hitting number 26, Grace Georgiou.
Here is Georgiou. Struck out and singled. The pitch. Swung on and fisted foul, out of play off to the right. No balls and 1 strike.
Great hitter here against a great pitcher.
It's a solid matchup here. And the 0-1. Inside, runner to third, no throw, and the trail runner now, Braylon, takes off late, but she's in there. It's a double steal. And now Grace could make this a little bit of a closer game with a base hit. Are they going to pitch to her? They're going to pitch to her. 1 ball, 1 strike. The offering upstairs, 2-1. We've seen Georgiou walked with 2 outs before on multiple occasions this season. There is a base open. 2-1. Swung on and fouled on that rising fastball there, known as a rise ball. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Eaton leads 7-1 in the 5th inning. Watch out for that changeup. Swung on and fisted on the ground, slowly to short. Duncan has it, fires to first, and Georgiou is retired, and so are the Bead Diggers in inning number 5. Brush strands a couple of runners. The Bead Diggers in this inning did pick up 2 base hits as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning in Eaton. It's Eaton 7, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 7-1 in favor of Eaton as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 9-1-2 for Eaton. Alex Schmidt was hit by a pitch and doubled. She will lead off against Braylon Rule,
Leading off for the Reds.
who has battled here, still trying to find her A game. After that outstanding performance against Sterling last Thursday, labored on Friday against Lions, and now working her 5th straight inning. Righty against righty. Schmidt officially is 1 for 1. The pitch bounces in to Grace Georgiou. It's 1-0. Bead Diggers with a run in the first. Eaton with 3 in the first, 2 in the third, and 2 more in the 4th. Georgiou lays down the sign. 1-0. Oof, way outside. 2-0. Those first hitters, especially the 9-hitter. Two-0 pitch. Again, not even close. It's a good foot off the plate. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Followed by Blake Duncan and Jamie Woody. .30 pitches right there on the inner half at strike 1. Braylon has thrown 101 pitches in the game. 54 for strikes, 47 for balls. .3-1. Outside corner at the knees, a gorgeous pitch. Ball 3, strike 2.
On both of those.
Well, she got to do it 3 times in a row. Let's see. To this number 9 hitter. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted in the infield. The second baseman, Lake, comes in and drops the ball off the bottom of her glove. That'll be an error.
Schmidt saves the first base on the error.
And that'll be the second error by the Bead Diggers in this game, both on the right side of the infield.
That'll bring up shortstop number 1, Blake Duncan.
And that'll send up Blake Duncan. Duncan is grounded out, lined out, and an RBI single. The pitch squaring to bunt and lays it down foul up the first base side. That pitch was out of the strike zone. And nothing she could really do with that pitch except bunt it foul. No balls and 1 strike. And Braylon Rule delivers. Swung on and lifted to right field. Olivia Odell to her left, ranges under it, makes the catch. Back to first is Schmidt.
Duncan flies out.
One down for the Reds in the bottom of the 5th inning. And here is Jamie Woody.
Now hitting first baseman number 7, Jamie Woody.
And Woody tripled, walked, and then popped to center. 1 for 2 in the game. She scored in the 1st inning, the first of 3 runs. The pitch, down and away. It bounces into Grace Georgiou. 1 ball and no strikes. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Longtime sponsor. Appreciate his support. 842-45-55. The pitch, way outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Woody. And watch out because Ross is right behind her with Jarnigan and Yaritza Puente, who had a 2-run homer in the 1st. And the pitch, swinging a foul to the backstop. Might have taken something off of that. Woody was off balance. It's 2-1. Well, the B-Diggers are certainly playing better defensively than they did against Eaton the first time around, where they made 5 errors in the 16-run setback. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted a shallow left field. Corral coming in, still coming, makes the running grab and then falls to her knees. And there's 2 down. Schmidt back to first. As she stumbled at the end, but was able to make the play. And here comes Sadie Ross.
Number 22, Sadie Ross.
Ross in the game with a sac fly in the 1st and has walked twice. So 3 plate appearances, but 0 at bats. Braylon Rule comes home. Just off the outside, it's 1-0. Beautiful programs here as well.
Oh, yeah, those are real nice.
And there's a double cheeseburger on the back. Gotta love that one on National Double Cheeseburger Day.
I like you double cheeseburgers, John.
Yep. Swung on and driven deep into left center field, and that's off the middle of the fence. That's going to try to score a run, but nope. Holding up at third is Schmidt. The ball was hit sharply. It's a 2-out double by Sadie Ross. 2nd and 3rd now for Jennifer Jarnigan. That ball was scorched out there into left center. The Reds pick up their 8th hit of the game. And Jarnigan has been a problem for Brush. She's singled twice and popped out. She's 2 for 3. Braylon Rule comes home. Way outside on the change of pace. It's 1-0. Oh, this is a big hitter to retire for Braylon Rule in the bottom of the 5th inning. Eaton has scored in every inning but the 2nd, have not scored yet in the 5th inning. And that tails down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. And the dangerous part about this is if this batter gets on via a walk, Puente, who homered earlier in the game, can end the game with a round tripper. 2-0. The pitch. Bounces in. Dangerous proposition here. 5 walks issued in the game by Braylon Rule. 1 pitch away from making it 6. 3 balls and no strikes. And that one is right there for a strike. Thigh high down the middle of the plate. It's 3-1. At third is Schmidt. At second is Ross. And the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice change up there on a ball dipping down in the zone. It's 3-2. Jarnigan back in the box. And Braylon has a couple of strikeouts in the game. 3-2 pitch. And fouled. That pitch was about to hit her, I think. She took a check swing and got a piece of it, almost like near the knob. A very odd ricochet off the bat. All right, stays at 3-2. And coming home is Rule. Swung on and popped up behind the plate. Georgiou has a play and makes the basket catch about a foot shy of the fence. And Eaton does not score in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nice play there by the senior catcher, Grace Georgiou. And Eaton has now stranded 9 in the game as they had runners at 2nd and 3rd and did not find their way across the plate. 5 complete with the score, Eaton 7, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Time for the Bee Diggers to get to work here in the 6th inning, trailing 7-1, and the pitch is outside to Madeline Poss, who struck out looking her first time up, then wrapped a base hit during her second at bat. 1 ball and no strike. Sadie Ross has struck out 9. The pitch swung on and grounded up the first base side, foul off the glove of the first baseman Woody in foul territory. It's 1-1. Yeah, Ross was on a roll with 6 strikeouts over the first 2 innings. The Bee Diggers obviously made some adjustments the second and now the 3rd time around the order. 1-1 pitch. Inside. Ross thought she had strike 2. It's 2-1. Brush has 6 hits in the game, only 2 fewer than Eaton, but Eaton has 6 more runs. Swung on, grounded foul, a late swing. Up the first base side, it's 2-2 to third baseman Madeline Poss. Let's see, Sadie Ross is nowhere. Well, she's closing in. 92 pitches for her. A lot less than what Braylon has thrown. Change up and a short swing, and it's grounded to third. Throw to first is in time. She took like a half swing, and Poss got down that line, but the play was made by Jarnigan on that little roller up the third base side, and there's 1 out.
Now hitting number 17, Riley Lake.
Yeah, she kept those hands just back enough to make contact. Poss is now 1 for 3. Here's Riley Lake, who has struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, and fouls it to the backstop. Fielder's choice went 1-5. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Brush, for the most part, has had runners on in most innings. And the pitch in the dirt. That was a change of pace. Ball 1, strike 1. Puente lays down the sign. The pitch, down and in. Trying to hit that inside corner and missed. It's 2-1. Carly Tatalini will hit next. That Bee Digger dugout making some noise. 2-1 pitch. Over for a strike at the knees. 2-2 to Riley Lake. With 1 out and the bases empty in the 6th inning. Eaton 7, Brush 1. 2-2 pitch, way outside. Yeah, that had no chance of being a strike. She set up off the plate and was thrown there. 3-2, and Ross looking over to the dugout for a sign. Well, you got a 6-run lead. I figured just throw some heat. The pitch, swung on and grounded to second. Right there is Schmidt. Throw to first for the out. 2 down.
Out number 2.
And here is Carly Tatalini, who singled and struck out swinging. One of 9 strikeouts recorded today by Sadie Ross in the dirt on the changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. John Beltran with Evan James back with you Thursday and Saturday for home games. First responders acknowledged on Saturday, and that's upstairs with a rise ball. It's 2-0. So if you're a first responder, they want to recognize you on Saturday, 11 a.m. against University. And that one to the screen. Ross has not walked a hitter, but now it's 3-0 to Tatalini. And again, the Bee Diggers are making most of their opportunity at least to play 7 innings here. Remember, 3 of the 4 games they've lost have not even gone to 6 innings. And that is just outside. A 4-pitch walk.
How about that?
Well, Sadie Ross is human. Here's Alexis Corral. She's had a tough day at the plate. Struck out looking and struck out swinging. She'll have to crank up really quickly here. The pitch. Upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bead Diggers are trying to avoid going to 4 and 5, but they knew today it would be a huge challenge. 1-0. Swung on and lifted foul and out of play off to the right as 3 Reds give chase, but it's over that fence. On the right side, it's 1-1. Nuggets coming up in less than 1 hour with tip time at 7 o'clock, only on 1010 KSIR in Game 7 of the Western Conference semis against the Los Angeles Clippers. The pitch, inside corner, strike 2. Yeah, that's the pitch that she spotted beautifully today.
Now here's the question for you, John. Out of all the sports you've ever done, what's your favorite?
Oh, it's baseball. It's not even close. And the pitch, swung on and lifted to the second baseman, Schmidt. She makes the grab. And the Bead Diggers are done here in the top of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a base runner left at first. I think we talked about that before, Evan. We'll, when I asked you, but we'll talk about that here after the break. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning as 5 1/2 innings are complete. It is Eaton 7, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Yaritza Puente has not been retired today and takes the first pitch a little bit low. A 2-run homer, a single, and hit by a pitch. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Eaton leads Brush 7-1. Number 1 against number 9. Eaton being the number 1 team. The offering. Swung on and tapped foul to the backstop. Count evens at 1-1. I think you told me your favorite is hockey.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Surprised you remember that.
Evan, don't underestimate. And the pitch outside. It's ball 2, strike 1. I remembered because I care. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Puente. The offering. Swung on and grounded a short. Brooke Rule has got it. She throws high to first, but in time. And the tall first baseman, Kylie Abreu, comes down with it, and there's 1 out. And Brooke Rule's played some excellent shortstop today. Emma Pinkstaff has walked, popped out, and struck out. 0 for 2. Braylon Rule ready. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle, and Rule cannot get it. It's a base hit into center field. 9th hit for the Reds. And the first for Pinkstaff in this game.
I'll bring up right fielder number 4, Brooke Beacom.
Brooke Beacom is now up there. Julia Meager batted in her spot the last time up. Beacom 0 for 2, struck out and popped out. Braylon comes home, swing and a miss. On the change of pace, it's 0-1. She's definitely gained some confidence out there. And at the very least, looking to go the distance, even if it's in a loss. No balls and 1 strike. The offering, swung on and fisted, caught by Abreu. She will step on the bag and double up Emma Pinkstaff at first. And it's an inning-ending double play. We will head to inning number 7. The Reds pick up a base hit. They leave none. It is Eaton 7, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. And the first pitch to Annalise Glosson is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Sadie Ross attempted to go to 6-0. Glosson is struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2. The pitch. Swung on and line foul off to the left on a late swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ross struck out 6 over the first 2 innings. 4 strikeouts in the last 4. So check that, 3. She's got 9 in the game. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Glosson. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Threw that heater right by the left-handed hitter. It's 1-2. See if Glosson can shorten up that swing. 1-2 pitch. Change up, grounded up the middle for a base hit into center field. She kept the hands back, and it went right, I think, between the legs of Sadie Ross, and the Bee Diggers pick up their 7th hit of the game. And again, they've got 1 fewer hit than Eaton, but 6 fewer runs. Kylie Abreu was grounded to short and then hit that excuse me single. And let's see if we're going to have a courtesy runner there for Glosson. Coach Odell meeting with a home plate umpire. Nope, I guess no changes. I don't see any. Well, yeah, there's Carrera. I think that's Carrera. She's going to come in and run for Glosson. And Glosson got better today with every plate appearance. So the Bee Diggers, for the 3rd time in the game, have the leadoff hitter on base. Now let's see what Abreu can do. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a ball that was above the letters. B&B Appliance and Repair, from refrigerators to vacuums and everything in between. They have exactly what you need and service it too. Outstanding work at B&B Appliance. No balls and 1 strike. Swung on, drilled foul. Up the left side over the Eaton dugout. It's 0-2. Brooke Rule to follow. She's had a nice game defensively as well, just not offensively. Well, the Reds were kept off the board in the last 2 innings. That's good for Brush. 0-2 pitch. And that is a called strike 3 right there on the outer half, knee high. Strikeout number 10 for Sadie Ross. 1 down in the 7th.
You know, John, this game is looking better.
Oh, sure.
Per se from the last game, you know.
Oh, it's not even close. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Pitch. And that's low. The ball off the catcher. And the second on the pass ball is Carrera. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, they've made some improvements there, Evan. Brooke Rule, a double, a ground out, and a single. She scored the only run for Brush. And the pitch. Swung on and fisted foul, and out of play off to the right. Well, you know what a sign of a good game is? When it's fun to watch. Okay, this has been fun to watch. Yeah, Brush is down by 6, but they're playing the best team in the state.
Exactly.
And they're in this game. They battled all game. Braylon has done a lot better. Actually, she pitched 2 very good games against Eaton this year. The pitch, swing and a miss on a ball tailing down in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brooke Rule. Carrera at second, 1 down in the 7th. Eaton leads Brush 7-1. And the pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. Strikeout number 11, and there's 2 down. And Braylon Rule has struck out twice looking and grounded into that fielder's choice to the third baseman, Jarnigan. The pitch, swung on and lifted to left field, and that's going to be caught on a line by Olivia Comer. That ball was tattooed, but it's the final out of the game, and the Eaton Reds defeat the Brush Bee Diggers by a score of 7-1. No runs in the 7th for Brush. On 1 base hit, no errors, and a runner left in scoring position. Let's take a 2-minute break. The final score in Eaton. Eaton 7, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Bee Digger post-game show is brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants, engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. Well, the Bee Diggers battled today. John Beltran back with Evan James, but they lose to the top-ranked Eaton Reds, 7-1. For Eaton, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 9 on base. The Bee Diggers with a run on 7 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left on base. The winning pitcher striking out 11 was Sadie Ross, and the loss went to Braylon Rule. Time of the game, 1 hour and 41 minutes. The Bee Diggers got a leadoff double from Brooke Rule, and she would come around to score in the first inning. In the bottom of the first, though, after Eaton got a sac fly from Sadie Ross, it was a 2-run homer from Yaritza Puente to make it 3-1. And then 2 innings later, the Reds would add to the lead with a couple of runs as the score was 5-1. Alex Schmidt with an RBI double. Blake Duncan with a run-scoring single. 2 more runs were scored in the 4th inning as they made it 7-1. Sadie Ross would score in a wild pitch. And then Julie Mager with an RBI groundout. Looking at the Reds offensively, I should say. Jarnigan and Puente had 2 hits apiece. And, of course, Puente with that 2-run homer. And the Bee Diggers got 2 hits from Brooke Rule, a single and a double. Eaton improves to 8-1. And the Bee Diggers fall to 4-5. And Evan, is not going to get much easier. Thursday against Valley, hopefully the Bee Diggers will be able to win that one like they did. But then Saturday's going to be a tough one back home against University. This Patriot League is pretty stacked.
It sure is, John. And, I mean, back when we watched the University game the first time, it was still a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was a great game.
And they really battled hard. And same here today. They really battled hard today.
Yeah, and they lost that game by 6 runs. They lost this game by 6 runs. And, again, even though Brush is 4-5, they have had the lead in every game this season except the first time around against Eaton. And one of the signs of progress that you see in teams is when you play them better the second time around. And now you're getting these teams the second time around. They lost to Eaton 18-2 at home, lose today on the road 7-1. That is progress. They beat Valley the first time around in a sloppy game 15-11 in Gilchrist. They've got to make progress with that game coming up on Thursday. We'll have it for you at 4 o'clock right here on 1010 as well as KSIR.com. A reminder that coming up at 6:30 on 1010 KSIR, it'll be Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals with the Nuggets taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. For Evan James, I'm John Beltran. The final score once again from Eaton. The top-ranked Reds defeat the Bee Diggers by a score of 7-1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.